Did you tell him that the baby's father was dead?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why?
Thank you.
Because I had, like he said, he was an abusive person. So I left him and I never went back to him again.
So why are you going back now? She bailed you out. The two of you never went out on another date?
No, he blocked me from all social media,
No, I
blocked
did
my
not.
phone calls.
No, I did not.
He blocked you from everything.
Yes.
So you felt like your only recourse at this point was to file a lawsuit? You know what, we're done. We're done. Here's what we're going to do. I tried to give you an opportunity
Correct.
to be an adult for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And have a reasonable dialogue
Yes,
about what's going to happen next for both of you.
Correct.
But we can't even do that.
Like most tales in the century, it all begins in the virtual world, where Justin relentlessly pursued Damesha on Facebook since 2013.
How do you know the defendant?
He had been pursuing me on social media for a couple of years. He would write me in like 2013, but I had been in a relationship, so I would never respond.
So you never met in person?
No.
So you just saw her on what? Instagram? Facebook? Facebook,
Yeah,
and
that's
thought,
what it was.
she's pretty, let me send
Yeah,
her a
and
DM?
yes, ma'am, and so I approached her.
It all goes down in the DM, right?
Yeah.
So you wrote to her for 2 years?
Not for 2 years, it was just like, I got to a point where I stopped. Really, to be honest, I forgot I had wrote her, and so I wrote her again. And when I wrote her again, she actually responded, and so it went from there.
And so eventually, what happens? You write back one day and say, okay, I'm single and available now?
Basically, just started a conversation with him. And he seemed like a good guy at the time.
How long had you been talking on Facebook?
A month,
A month. Okay, so he comes to meet, and what happens?
We just hit it off. We were good friends.
Will the two of you start dating at some point?
Yeah, like a few weeks later, we'd start to casually date where we'd go to church together and Easter and...
Finally, in 2015, she responded, and their digital love flirtation quickly transformed into real-life encounters. So he basically wore her down. That's interesting. We call that harassment out here. But the story takes a dramatic twist on April 15th. Justin, on his way to visit Damesha, ended up arrested right outside her house.
It was April 15th, it was a Friday, and he was supposed to come down and hang out with me. 12 o'clock at night comes, and he still hasn't made it to me yet. So I'm like, I'm going to sleep, I'll just see you another time. And he tells me he's 10 minutes away. 20 minutes later, I see red, blue lights flashing outside my window, and he had gotten pulled over in front of my house.
Do you go outside?
Yes, we go outside. So we're just waiting for them to tell us like what's going on. He's like, oh, they said I was speeding. He's like, well, were you? He's like, no, I wasn't speeding, but I believe the cops. So I'm like, you know, you had to have done something wrong. Otherwise, he wouldn't just stop you out the blue.
Well,
You sure about that?
Sometimes it happens,
well,
but
actually,
go ahead.
I did not receive a ticket for speeding. I received a ticket for toting a container in my back passenger seat at the time.
Container of alcohol?
Yes. No, just a regular beverage from beer from the store.
Alcohol, open container
Yes, Your
in
Honor.
the car?
Correct.
So it was open,
Yes,
it was already
ma'am.
open?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, it was already open. And so,
and charged you with what? Having open container?
He charged me for driving under suspension, open container. And so when he did that, I was like, I had a couple of drinks before I was coming down there.
Were you under the influence at the time?
Yes, I had a beer before I came down there.
As the police placed Justin in handcuffs and charged him, the tension peaked. Damesha recounts her frustration palpable as she describes bailing him out with the $1,000 he had painstakingly saved for a car.
This is what happened. They put me behind handcuffs. They put me in the jail. She says, babe, I have $1,000 put up, I'll put up for you.
That's exactly how that conversation happened. You are in handcuffs with the police, and she looks at you and said, babe, I have $1,000. What do you say happened?
Okay, so we see him getting put in handcuffs. That's when we all go outside.
Did you yell out, I have $1,000?
No, ma'am.
She said, I have $1,000
I
put
said,
up.
Justin, all I have is $1,000. He said, I know that's all you got.
Has he paid you anything?
Nothing.
He's paid you nothing?
2 days later, I never heard from him again.
Ever
again.
So 2 days, this is your boyfriend?
Yes.
This is a fib.
And 2 days after she bailed you out, the two of you never went out on another date?
No, he blocked me from all social media,
No, I
blocked
did
my
not.
phone calls.
No, I did not.
He blocked you from everything?
Yes, ma'am.
So you felt like your only recourse at this point was to file a lawsuit?
So yes,
Let me see the text messages.
Their brief relationship disintegrated post-bailout. Damesha claims he started to cosplay as Casper and ghosted her, blocking her on all social platforms just 2 days later. Pregnant by another man and grappling with financial woes, Damesha felt abandoned and deceived, leading her to sue for the unpaid bail money.
6 o'clock in the morning, you go down, the brother goes down, you bail him out with this $12.69.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying she offered this.
Correct.
And you never said, before she bailed you out, you never said you'd pay her back. But
No.
it was after when that conversation came
Correct.
up. Hold on a
That-
second. What did he say?
He promised me he was going to pay me all my money back because he would get paid that Friday coming up.
She's telling the truth. I did tell her that. And I got paid every 2 weeks. And I told her I will pay you in portions. Well, the harassment comes on. She would call me while I'm at work. She harassed me until where I lost my job because she kept calling and my phone kept, going off
Calling
and
your
stuff like
cell
that.
phone?
Correct.
And you can't turn it off?
I
You can't put it on silent?
But it was to the point to where I lost my job because she kept calling my phone.
You didn't lose your job because she was calling your cell phone. You didn't lose your job because she was calling your cell phone.
That
Justin counterclaims that Damesha's constant calls caused him to lose his job. The judge then retorts, dismantling his flimsy defense. The judge's poignant address to Damesha strikes a chord, emphasizing her self-worth and the need for better life choices. The judge questions, urging her to seek better for herself and her family.
We found out together that I was pregnant, and it wasn't by him. And he told me he would stay there with me. I tried to break it off with him a lot of times where I was like, just leave me. Like, I got a kid, I'm pregnant now. Why do you want to be with somebody like me?
I'm gonna say something. You're in a challenging situation. You're 21 years old. You don't have a lot of money, right? And you already have a 1-year-old, and now you're about to have another child.
Yes, ma'am.
The struggle is real,
Very real.
okay? What you can't do is now decide in your own mind that you are somehow not as good of a person. And I hate to hear you say things like, why would you want to be with someone like me? Yeah, there's a lot of responsibility with having 2 kids at such a young age, at 21 years old.
In a jaw-dropping moment, Justin accuses Damesha of lying about her baby's father being deceased, which in the grand scheme of things actually has nothing to do with the case, but it does reveal something about her current belief system and who might have given her bad beliefs about herself. To top it all off, Justin attempts to smear Damesha's character, calling her a leech. The judge, fed up with the slander, interjects. Everyone holds their breath as Judge Faith delivers the verdict. In the end, justice prevails for Damesha. The judge rules in her favor, awarding her the $1,000 for the bail money she paid. Justin's counterclaim for lost wages is dismissed. The judge's parting words resonate with both parties.
when we started the relationship, she told me her baby daddy was deceased. I found out by my friend that her baby father was actually still alive.
Did you tell him that the baby's father was dead?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Why?
Thank you.
Because I had, like he said, he was an abusive person. So I left him and I never went back to him again.
So why are you going back now?
Some people change. They do.
Hell no, man.
Okay, some people do change. A lot of people don't. Most don't. You know, I'm not a therapist here, but I'm just trying to tell you because I was a prosecutor and I handled domestic violence cases from what I've seen in my own professional experience. Because you're 21, because you have 2 kids, somehow thinking that you have to accept less than the best in terms of how you're treated in relationships. You don't have to do that. Even if it's you and your kids going through this life by yourself, guess what? You gotta do it. You have a daughter? You have a daughter?
That's what I'm about to have.
Okay, so here we are. You are now mother to a daughter. What do you want to represent to your child, your daughter, about the type of man that you want her to grow up and be with? You guys are young. You have a lot of growing up to do, both of you. And it needs to start today. You gotta make better choices. You need to stop getting arrested.
Yeah, and that was that's not.
I'm not laughing. This is not a laughing matter, Mr.
It's not,
Clark.
but it's not like I get arrested, ma'am. I just graduated college last year.
Okay.
I've been through high school. I've been through college, and I do professional massage therapy. I was working in the chiropractic's office. Her, on the other hand, she's a leech.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's what that is.
No,
Let's be
we're not going to
honest.
do it. I'm not going to let the two of you, you know what, we're done. We're done. Here's what we're going to do. I tried to give you an opportunity
Correct.
to be an adult for a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And have a reasonable dialogue
Yes,
about what's going to happen next for both of you.
Correct.
But we can't even do that because both of you are interested in disparaging the other in front of me today, and it's unfortunate. Here's what we're going to do. You have essentially admitted that you were going to pay the plaintiff back for bail. Your counterclaim for lost wages is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $1,000. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.